Hello, thank you so much for helping out with the 40 Days of Prayer campaign that we had here at Saddleback Church in Anaheim. And having you step on board and help us out during the campaign was just phenomenal and super instrumental. And I just want to thank you for your help. This video, the purpose of this is just to summarize the meeting that we had this last weekend, provide some closure and or next steps for you on your journey of caring for groups at Saddleback Anaheim. One thing that I've noticed that's been so interesting and unique for me in terms of leading small group campaigns and seeing the things that God has been doing, I just feel like God's been bringing so much momentum to the 40 Days of Prayer, more so than I've seen in a while with our Saddleback campaign. So I just wanted to share some highlights with you, a few stats as it relates to that. And these are all things that you got to help be a part of, so thank you. We had stories of at least 10 salvations take place within our small groups. As you know, in week 2, Pastor Rick leads us in a time of prayer. And so quite a few people, at least 10 people in our small groups made that commitment. And that's a lot more than what I've seen in the last couple campaigns. In September of this year, we had 230 small groups. Well, in December, we had 482 small groups. So incredible growth in our small group numbers. So what that tells me is more people are getting connected, more people are making friendships, more people are taking next spiritual steps, and that's such a great thing. In October, we had our largest host gathering that we've ever had. Before that, I think our largest one was 75 people, and for the 40 Days of Prayer, we had almost 300 people come on that Friday night to pick up their material and to celebrate the launch of the campaign with us. We had about 250 people who are attending small groups on campus throughout the week. It's men's, women's, single moms, Spanish, probably forgetting one other, but yes, great momentum on campus, which was amazing. We had 3 leader trainings that we trained about 25 people, which was amazing. Our 101 class in October was double what we normally have for class 101. It was about 56 people instead of our average of about 25. So, and then we passed out so much material, it's hard to count it all. Probably at least 3,000 workbooks, and it was just an incredible time. So thank you guys so much for being a part of that. A couple stories I heard too. We had a host and a member of a group that were sitting in the front row of the service a couple weeks ago, and they shared with me how the host had prayed for this individual who her back has been hurting and causing trouble for her for many years, not being able to be solved. And so the host prayed with her for her back, and her back is now healed. So incredible story there. I've had hosts share mostly personal and private stories with me about steps of forgiveness that they are taking with family members, with friends, with loved ones to release some bitterness and hurt in their life, and to see God grow them in that is incredible. I've also had stories of people that are now have more consistent prayer habits than they had before, and their relationship with God is growing because of that. And oh yes, one more story. There's a gal that hosts a small group at her local college. She's a coach, and she has a sports team, and 25 of her students, one of her teams, is doing a 40 Days of Prayer study together. So when she came one weekend, she's like, yes, I'd like to get 25 books. I was like, tell me more. And so it was so cool to see God use her for that and allow her to reach people on her campus. So if you've had any stories come your way, please reply to this email that this video is embedded in, and let me know of some of those stories, because we're still celebrating what God's done. And I'm planning on sending out a general broadcast to all our groups, just finalizing that celebration in the next week or so. Also, if you know of any of your groups that are no longer continuing, or they are continuing, can you please pass that information along, just so if they've already told you that or communicated that to you, we don't want to follow up asking the same question to them. What's next? So for many of you, you've just made this commitment to serve with us for just 6 weeks or 8 weeks, however long we set that time up, and it's ended, as you know. If some of you, I've had a conversation with one or two of you that really love doing what you're doing and enjoyed connecting with groups, enjoyed working from home, love being able to pray for small groups and encourage them on their journey. And if that's your story, if you have an interest, a passion to explore this more, or just want to talk to us a little bit more about that, we would love to have you consider continuing on caring for the groups that you have and maybe taking a few more on as well. Our community leaders, about 75% of their time they serve at home, and about the other 25% of the time they're serving at the small groups table on the weekend, just loving on folks and walking them through the process of finding a small group. So we'd love to have you. I know for a few of you it was a little bit of a frustrating experience because you'd call people and you wouldn't hear back. And that is sometimes a common theme that our small groups team deals with month in and month out. But one thing that I just want to affirm for you in your efforts to do that, I love that everybody that started a small group here at Saddleback Anaheim got a phone call. I just love that. I love that personal touch. Whether they decided to pick up the phone or not, or to call you back or not, the fact that we made that extra step of love and care and concern for them is what I value and treasure the most out of your efforts to do that. So thank you that we are able to at least offer them that personal care. So if you don't feel led to continue on with us, that's totally fine. If you feel like you'd want to continue leading as a community leader with us, please let me know. And then lastly, when you reply to this email with information about which groups are continuing and which are not, I'd love 2 more ideas from you. 1, what worked well, what didn't work well? Maybe how can we improve our experience of you being a campaign CL for next year? As new people join us and serving our groups next year, we want to just make the experience as pleasant as possible. And then lastly, after that, would you be willing to serve with us next year? Maybe this is not the thing for you, but maybe you'd be willing to help us next year with a few contacts and calls, again, like you did this year. That's it for now. That summarizes the meeting we had last weekend. Again, thank you so much for your time, and I'm looking forward to what God's going to do in the weeks and the months ahead as we continue to love and serve our church family. God bless you guys, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.